Good day, everybody. Today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the card game Verdun. Now, Verdun is set in the First World War, where the Germans and the French were fighting, and the object of the game is you're going to try to have the most amount of points. So let's check it out. There's 4 different specialty cards in this game, and here they are. You have the General. The General is going to count as either a rank 1 or 14, and you'll get to choose. This is the Chaplain. This is going to count as your color with a rank of 2. This is the Scout. This will count as your color with a rank 8, and this is going to prevent opponents from playing tactical cards for the remainder of the trick, which I'll talk about. And then you also have the Copier. This is going to copy the value of the previously played card. And this is always going to be the lowest value on the casualty check. So in the game, you got 2 sides. You got the German side and the French side. And each side is going to have their own type of cards, and they're going to be ranked 2 through 14 if you choose to do the General. And you're going to have the German cards and then the French cards over here. Now, the object of the game is you're going to be trying to get the most amount of points either by scoring points from these fortifications over here. They're going to have values like 0 and 4, and then you also have assets, which are also going to be worth points as well. Or you're going to try to take out the most amount of casualties from your opponent's side. And there's a very unique system with this, how it works. The first thing that's going to happen is, let's say I'm the Germans, I'm going to pick one of these fortifications to attack. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and compare the values of both sides. And if the cards that are showing over here in the middle are stronger than my opponent's, I'm going to end up winning this and this asset token over here behind it, which is going to score points. Now, the thing with this game is whichever side has the most amount of points, say Germans had 18, whenever you're resolving the trick, the winning side is going to get rid of their lowest card, and they're going to put any casualties that they have in a certain pile. So if I were to lose this card, I would end up with 3 casualties on my side. Now, the loser is going to get rid of their highest ranked card. Let's just say I happen to have something like this, and red had 15 points and this side had 18. The loser would be red, so they would have to get rid of their highest ranked card, which is going to be this, and they would go ahead and suffer these casualties. Now, the unique thing about this game, you may not necessarily be trying to win these fortifications, but you may be trying to get rid of the cards that are in your hand and try to force your opponent to take casualties. Whenever you're attacking this fortification, you're going to flip it over, and whatever point value is shown, that's going to go to the defenders. So say I decide I'm going to play the General, and I say this is going to be a 14. So I have 14 points. My opponent's going to go ahead and look, and let's just say he decides he's going to play a General. That's worth 14 points. I'm going to look at my side. I'm thinking, I'm going to play a 10, for example. Let's say my opponent looks at his hand, and let's just say he decides he's going to go ahead and play a 9, for example. So right now I've got 24. My opponent has 23. So we're going to flip this over, and this is a 7. So now this is going to be attached to this. So this gives me 30 points. So now the French will have won this trick. So now if I had won, I would end up taking this and this and putting it on my side for points. So now what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and separate these out, and you're going to see which side has the most amount of points. Right now the red side does, so they're going to get rid of their lowest point card, which is this. This is the casualties they're going to suffer. And then for me, I'm going to lose the highest rank card, which is the General, which is going to hurt. I'm going to end up taking 5 casualties on my side. After this, you're going to compare the 2 surviving cards, and whichever card has the higher number is going to receive what is called a tactics card. Now, you can play these tactic cards along with your trick whenever you're playing, and these are going to have different effects. The decoys are like this. Regardless of the outcome, only the lowest card on your side is going to die, so if you lose, you'll only lose the lowest card. The mustard gas, each side is going to lose an additional card. The artillery, everybody's going to die. The airstrike is going to add +3 to your side's total. And then the stratagem card is going to cancel a tactical card as it's played. This is the only reaction card you can have. So part of the strategy is going to be trying to play opposing cards in order to try to cause casualties to the other player. Now, once all the tricks are finished, what you're going to do is you're going to count up all your points. You're going to score points for each of these fortifications and assets that you have. You're going to score points for any of the assets and fortifications that you have left over. You're also going to subtract the amount of casualties that you have collected on your side's pile. We'll total all that up, and whoever has the most amount of points at the end is going to win. I've always enjoyed trick-taking games like Spades and Hearts, and this game takes trick-taking to a whole new level. What they do with this game is that it is part of taking tricks, but it also is going to involve what cards you play and also the value of those cards. So if you have the highest value card, then whatever army that that card is associated with is going to lose their lowest card that is played. And the same is true with the other side. Now, where this game gets interesting is how you're going to play the cards that you have that are of the enemy. So if you're the Germans, you've got French cards, you need to do something with these cards. And ultimately what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to play them out in a way to where it's going to inflict the most amount of casualties to the player that is playing as that army. And that can get very tricky. It really adds a lot of tension to the game as you're going for the fortification. Do you want to try to play your army card, because whatever army card you play, you may end up losing that much in casualties, but you will end up getting the points too, but you're not going to necessarily know what those points are either. It certainly is a unique dynamic as you are trying to take fortifications and also trying to inflict the most amount of casualties on your opponent by the cards you play. And the game just has this feel to it to where there's some unpredictability, but at the same time there's some strategy involved as well, and it's a cool little dynamic. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that if all 4 cards are of the same army, there will be no casualties. That's another thing to take in consideration, but it's a very good game. It's a very unique trick-taking game, so you're having to constantly think, what am I going to play next? What do I want to do? It's a good game. All right, guys, that's my review of Verdun. We'll see you. Keep on gaming.